Welcome back to Tests via Requests, and today we are testing all the interactions with Pantheon's E. First up is Aurelion Sol. With the AoE on his E and Q, Pantheon blocks the damage even with the animations behind him. For regular ult, Pantheon does get stunned, but blocks the damage, and for super ult, Pantheon is slowed, but also blocks the damage. Next up is Anivia. For her Q, even if the projectile passes Pantheon's front half, he is stunned, but takes no damage. And in her ult AoE, as long as Pantheon is facing Anivia, it blocks all damage. This rule for Pantheon's E applies to all AoE spells in the game. In the case of Annie, despite Tibbers being a completely separate unit, facing Annie prevents Pantheon from taking Tibber damage. With Darius's ult flash mechanic, if Darius flashes to the front of the E, damage is blocked. But if he flashes behind Pantheon, damage is applied. Alawi now is interesting. Tentacles behind Pantheon do have their damage stopped during the E channel, and if Alawi pulls Pantheon's soul, damage is totally blocked on Pantheon. Believe it or not, Pantheon Z is actually global. Against Karthus ult, he can block the damage as long as he is facing Karthus. Now for Yi. Because you can choose which direction to land with Yi's Q, damage registration depends on where you land. If you land in front of Pantheon's E, damage is negated, and if you land behind Pantheon, damage is applied. Up next is Yone. How to block Yone ult is dependent where Yone lands. So in order to prevent damage, you must E in the direction Yone will land. Otherwise, if you E towards Yone during the initial dash, damage will end up registering. And as you can see for Yorick, positioning myself in between Yorick with the minions behind me prevents damage from being received. And finally, Zyra plants. Both melee and projectile have their damage negated as long as Pantheon is facing Zyra. If there's anything you'd like me to test, leave a comment. Otherwise, subscribe for more.